We're with Sean Walters, Executive Director of IMCA. Sean, tell us about some of the latest findings, or the findings of the latest survey that IMCA's done.
We partnered with Advisor Impact on their economics of loyalty study and asked a few questions about investors and what they expect from their advisor. There were some very interesting findings. One of them was that when they pay their advisor a fee, the competencies that they expect that advisor to possess. And surprisingly, investment management was the top of the list. 59% of investors wanted their advisor to be competent in investment management, only 22% in holistic financial planning, about 7% in tax and estate, and then 2% in insurance. So when they pay a fee, and it's an investment management fee, they want that advisor to know what they're doing when it relates to portfolio management and asset allocation.
And these were advisors in all different channels that they
These were investors, so they were clients, and there was 1,200 clients that were surveyed by Julie's firm, Advisor Impact, and they were from all kinds of ranges. Interestingly, the younger advisors, those from 18 to 40 years old, their expectations are higher when it relates to the competence of their advisor. 80% of clients who are under age 40 expect their advisor to have a voluntary certification, to do more than just have a required license. And about 2/3 of other respondents were at that level too. So they want their advisors to earn more than just a required license to do practice. They want them to go the extra step and do voluntary certification.
And the certification, obviously, SEMA is a popular certification or an important one. How do you keep that, A, relevant, and B, such that it gives the credibility to the advisors that seemingly investors are looking for?
No, I think it comes down to quality. As a certification body, we're committed to quality. So we do the 4 E's, we apply those as requirements. Advisors who meet our standards have to meet an experience requirement, an education requirement. They have to have an ethics requirement, and then our examinations are quite rigorous. So that's the first step of a quality certification, is the 4 E's. The second is that there's ongoing certification requirements, that it's not just that when they complete our exams, they're done. They earn the marks, and that's what they hold after their name. In fact, only a handful of financial services credentials are real certifications. They require you to renew the certification every couple years. And that's something that also these advisors or these clients are expecting out of their advisor. 80% want the marks after their advisor's name to be something that they renew every so often. And then I'd say the last piece of quality that they expect is that if the advisor fails to meet ethics requirements, that there's a disciplinary process that strips the marks. And again, it's far too few credentials in financial services have any kind of process to strip the marks from an advisor if they've failed to meet the ethics requirements.
And then one of the things advisors would probably want to know is what is the association, in this case IMCA, doing to make sure that people are aware that something like the SEMA certification actually exists?
I think we don't have the kind of budget to go out and spend millions and millions of dollars on advertising and TV commercials. What we can do is spend our money in making sure that the processes we use in our certification meet the standards of personnel certification. So we're the only professional certification in the U.S. that meets an ISO standard for personnel certifiers. It's ANSI 17024, and we're committed to making sure that all the things that we do to keep the standard for SEMA as high as possible are recognized by a third party. And so it's who's certifying the certifiers is really the way that we try to position that. And if we put that in front of regulators, and I've talked to SEC commissioners about that, I've talked to legislators about it, that there are standards for quality credentials. They already exist. We don't have to make them up. And we look to ANSI to kind of set those standards for other personnel certifications.
Sean, thanks very much. At the IMCA Annual Conference, this is Evan Cooper for Asset TV.